See if that makes a difference. Yes, it does. I don't love that. I don't love the fact that the VPN is causing issues this week. Okay, well, we'll leave it off and we'll cross that bridge in a little bit, shall we? So, looks like when we turn the VPN on that it causes a bit of disruption. But anyway, let's go over and let's have a look at the video. This is Mr. Stone and Blake. They're going to run through this week's Evolve.
I'm Robert Stone.
And I'm Blake Howard.
And this is your weekly WWE Evolve 2B teaser.
Rob, huge opportunity on the line tonight. We will find out who takes on Jackson Drake in 2 weeks at Succession, our big 2B special.
Oh, yeah.
As we have huge #1 contenders match. It's Keanu Carver one-on-one with Brooks.
Speaking of championships, our Evolve Women's Champion, Kylie Armstrong, one-on-one with her future opponent, Kendal Gray's bestie, Carly Bright. That's tonight.
And Rob, over the last few weeks, we've been talking about the budding tag team division here on Evolve. We're going to see a rematch tonight as Adrenaline Drip present even the score with Jax Presley and Harley erased this.
Whoa. Even the score. We beat those pipsqueaks into oblivion 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I got a 3-year-old niece that's bigger than Cap and Carver. I don't think there's a whole lot of competition in the tag division talks on Evolve right now. I think all they need is a little taste of unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, man. Wow. Really? Where were you? Really? Why were you catch it all tonight on Tubi? Why were you talking Choo?
So there we go. There are graphics for us to take a look at. So Harley Riggins and Jax Presley, who we just saw, they're going to be taking on Adrenaline Drip, and I really enjoy watching Adrenaline Drip. I think they're a really good team. Then we got Keanu Carver against Brooks Jensen. This is a #1 contenders match. Looking forward to that. I'm hoping Keanu Carver gets the win personally, but I don't know. We need to find some forward momentum for Brooks Jensen, don't we? Doesn't feel like it's quite clicked yet for me, but maybe we will see some tonight that will grab our attention. Then we've got Kylie Armstrong against Carly Bright. I don't know that the women's title is on the line, but getting a chance to see Kylie Armstrong in action is obviously a positive. So we've got that. And we've also got Idris and Nofe against Tate Wilder. Now, we know that Idris has said goodbye and that he is done. We also know these shows are not live. They're pre-taped, so this very much could be Idris's final match. This could be where we say goodbye to Idris Enofe. He came out and made a statement online just the other day. So looks like this could be Idris's last match. The female champ in action. #1 contenders match to figure out who's going to take on Jackson Drake. And then, I mean, I love Adrenaline Drip. So I actually think the lineup tonight doesn't look too bad. Honestly, I think should be pretty fun. So yeah, looking forward to that. Akeem said tonight is the night that I figure out how to become a member payment-wise, said Akeem. Akeem, shout out to you, but we just had a really good member stream, actually. We was chatting to Edward Brown, who is stepping away from the community to chase his dreams. So we just had a good chat with Edwards. And then we did a little fun quiz. And we've got the game tomorrow for the members. And I was just in the process of getting that set up, actually. It should be a good one. I'm looking forward to this week's. So the game tomorrow should be fun. We do have the Hall of Fame running right now. You can vote for who you want to go into the Community Hall of Fame. 4 fantastic nominations. All 4 are worthy of going into the Hall of Fame. So a tough decision to try and figure out who you're going to go with. But that is up right now. You can vote, and someone on that SmackDown stream, and I'm not going to tease it so it's late or anything like that. As soon as someone mentions it or I remember, we will get the result, because I always do that. I always say, oh, we'll come back at the end, and then I'm always in a rush and I forget. So at some point during that SmackDown stream, we are going to announce the winner, right? I don't know when. It'll just be when I flipping remember. But at some point we will announce the winner. So still plenty of time, still a couple of days. If you haven't voted, vote. It's on the channel right now. As we said, 4 great options. All 4 deserve to go in. And that's something else that we're kind of doing at the moment. But I sold a good lick of horror VHS tapes to a friend, so I have got bank, said Akeem. Oh, really? Akeem, shout out to you. Johnny said, I always download the Evolve episode instead of watching it with a VPN. Yeah, I don't really have that option, or at least I don't think I do. So yeah, I just tune in. I mean, it always drops on Tubi 5 minutes to, so it'll drop in about 50 minutes, and then we just wait a few minutes. I think it's good for because it might not drop and appear for everyone at the exact same moment. So we just wait a couple of minutes, wait until it gets to the hour, and then boom, we play. It's a bit of a nightmare to try and keep everyone in line, in check and everything, but we've been doing this many weeks now, so hopefully people have kind of got it working for them, you know. But I think it's really good. I mean, I really enjoy watching this. It does feel like its own brand. I really love the fact we're doing specials now. I think that's fantastic. We do have a special called Succession in a couple of weeks, so I think we're just 2 weeks away from that. And that's going to be so good. I mean, I think it's right that they don't do it as like a weekend PLE. Really what they need to try and do is get more people to watch on a Wednesday. They need to get more people to tune in to Tubi, and doing a bit of a special, doing it on a Wednesday, just kind of making it a special episode. That's a good idea. Obviously, if they could get some big names to come and like help out, that would also be a big help. If I was a wrestler in WWE, I would have no issue. Like Natalia, I would have no issue with going to Evolve. You know, if I was a wrestler in WWE, I would want to have every experience I could have, really. I mean, you want to be in NXT, you want to be at the Rumble, you want to be at WrestleMania, you want to do Raw, you want to do SmackDown, you want to go to Australia, you want to go to Europe. Like, if you are a wrestler in WWE, you're just going to want as many different experiences as possible. And who knows how long Evolve's going to be around for. It might not last forever. It probably won't, right? But it's one of those where, you know, you could have that experience of wrestling these early Evolve. I mean, you know, fast forward 10 years, maybe it's still around, but it might not be being presented in the same venue. It might not have the same vibe. You know, in 10 years' time, it might be a big enough show where it's actually been sold to a network and you can watch it on Netflix. And it's got a bit of a budget, and it's got a better entrance stage, and it's got a bit of its own kind of vibe, you know, rather than it just being what it is right now, which I just think is a corner of the PC. I think I'm pretty sure this thing is recorded at the actual new performance center, right? Not the one they're building, but obviously the performance center is where NXT is filmed. That used to just have loads of rings in it. And then when the pandemic hit, they had to get the rings out because they had to film Raw and SmackDown there. And so that kind of became like a little arena. It became its own internal space where they could film TV shows. And obviously we did WrestleMania 36 there, right? But it meant they had to move somewhere else, like all the training, all those other rings. And when they were like training people, they had to go somewhere else. So they've got another warehouse close by. My understanding is that Evolve is in that space, but they are building a new PC. There is a new PC that is being built, so I don't know what's going to come of that. It's all very exciting. Rent-Free said, Daze, I know it's a bit early to be asking, but who do we think wins the Rumble in 2026? Last year it was controversial with Jey Uso. Who would you like to win in 2026? Rent-Free, shout out to you, my friends. I'm a big Sami fan, and I would love for Sami to win it personally. I think Sami is someone that they are really investing in. I mean, I feel so positive about his future right now because it's clear that, you know, look, with WWE, you've got to make the most of what you're given. And sometimes you might not be given much. And you've really just got to try and maximize it. And honestly, Sami, for a lot of his career, has just been fed crumbs. He's just been fed these little opportunities, and he's just tried to make the most out of them. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. I think he was doing some horrible stuff during the pandemic. During the pandemic, he had that whole... do you remember the conspiracy Sami, where he was adamant there was a conspiracy against him and there was going to be a documentary that was going to expose the truth. I mean, I thought all of that was just the wrong path to be going down. I was not engaged with his character at that point. Just felt like we were really messing up a lot of things. I mean, we had Chad Gable as Shorty G, you know, and we had Sami doing conspiracy nonsense. I mean, I think Sami kind of got back into his groove when he moved away from that. Actually, you could say the Johnny Knoxville feud was kind of what woke things up, because the Johnny Knoxville moment was him kind of hitting rock bottom. It was a fun match. Honestly, one of my favorite celebrity matches of all time. I'm not a big fan of celebrities getting involved, but the way they structured that one was just so bonkers. I mean, it wasn't really to be taken seriously kind of match. You know, there's big giant hands slapping Sami down. There's a giant flipping mousetrap that's pinning him down. I mean, it was just like, there's no way you can look at that and take it serious. But creatively, it was wacky and wild. But from a career point of view, it was probably, well, a good moment for him in the sense of getting onto WrestleMania and having some fun. But he probably feels about as far away from a world title as you could get at that point. I mean, he's goofing around with the Jackass crew. And it really, you know, it feels like it's rock bottom in some ways as well. Because rather than fighting for championships and getting momentum, you're losing a celebrity match against the Jackass crew goofing around. And they knew that. And actually, I don't know if you remember, but it was just after that WrestleMania that Sami goes in to see Roman. And he says to Roman, look, I'm at rock bottom. I need to get some momentum. I need to get some credibility. Like, you guys are the most credible group around here, like the Bloodline. You know, maybe I can help you out. Maybe there's something. And at first, they're not interested. Roman's not interested. But Sami persists. Keeps knocking on the door, but the Usos will come out and they won't let Sami in. And the Usos are like, you know, not right now. You know, we like you, Sami, but I'm not sure. And it was from that, you know, he eventually joins and we get Sami in the Bloodline. So, like, that for me was, he's had to kind of feed on scraps. He's had to kind of work really hard to kind of have the career that he's had. Bloodline was amazing for him, and then there was a drop-off after. But now they are so invested. I mean, he's not feeding off scraps right now. He's a mid-card champion. But not only that, more than that, they're putting him in great matches every week. They are setting the table so that he has great matches. I mean, they're giving him great opponents. He's getting in there with Cena. He's getting in there with Carmelo Hayes, who can work. You know, getting in there with Ray Finn. They're not putting him in there with people that are, you know, a bit slow and plodding and boring. And do you know what I mean? Like, they're putting him in there with good workers. They are doing this so that he has good matches, so that he has momentum, because we all know where Royal Rumble is next year in Saudi Arabia. So Sami, I think, is a lot of people's favourite, or is in the top 3. I don't mind Punk winning it. I'd have no problem with that. But yeah, I think Sami winning it would be really fun. And I just hope that the crowd will be with him. I just hope that this works. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of goodwill towards Sami because his matches have been great. This open challenge has been a lot of fun. It's done exactly the same as when Cena did the open challenge. People loved it when Cena did it because I mean, like, you just want to see great matches, and that's what we're getting. And they're doing the exact same thing again, and it's working again. And I think this is the plan. I think they are doing this on purpose. This is why I thought they had him beat Carrion at SummerSlam, was because they didn't really have any plans for Carrion, but they did have plans for Sami. And I think this has been, you know, a long time coming, months and months and months, that they've thought, right, around this time of year, we're going to start heating up Sami. As we head towards the Rumble, we're going to give him some real momentum. And so I think there's even indicators that the company are investing in him. He is my front runner. In regards to the women, I don't mind Liv. I think Liv has always been the bridesmaid, never the bride. I really don't mind her winning. She'll be back around that time. I think it makes sense, Rumble winner next to her name, go into WrestleMania. She's been away for a little while as well. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think Liv absolutely stands a good chance. Not down on AJ Lee winning. Not down on Lyra winning. I actually really like Lyra. So I don't mind Lyra. I don't mind Liv. I don't mind AJ. I think there's some great options. Sami, Punk, don't mind either of those. Maybe a bit soon for Jacob, but if they want to go big, bold, shake it up, and they want to make a move with Jacob winning the Rumble would be a statement. That would be a big, big statement. I'll take that over Bron Breakker. I'm just I don't know, man. With Bron and Bronson, I'm just not feeling it. It's not connecting. It's not working for me right now. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm way more excited by Jacob than I am by Bron or Bronson. So Jacob, Punk, Sami would be my 3. AJ Lee, Liv, Lyra would be my 3. So yeah, good question. I like it. Akeem, welcome my friends. And G Doggy Dog, shout out to you guys as well. So you guys, we are doing on a Thursday, we always do a member stream where we play a game. It's a tag game where you have 2 minutes. You and your tag partner have to answer as many as possible, right? Have to get as many answers in as possible in that time frame. And we just go through like these tag teams and we see who emerges on top. So I don't know how many teams are going to be playing tomorrow. I think we should have a few, actually. We've got around about 13 teams that play every Thursday. But we're always looking for more people. So if you want to take part in that, the stream will be at 5 Eastern, 10 o'clock UK time, PM. And you just need to get a partner. Just get another member. Leave your information in the little thing. There'll be a thing that just asks for any kind of tag team news I need to know. If you're a new team, just leave your details in there. It'll be on that stream. And then you can join in and take part. I'm going to try and make sure that we've got enough slides. That's always my concern, is that have we got enough slides for the game? But I've already made good progress this week, actually. I think I've already got up to about 60 slides. I want to have at least 100. So a bit more work to be done. So after this stream, my plan is that I want to do Unseen. I want to finish off the game. And I want to start my research for UFC this weekend. So that's my plan for tonight once I've finished this stream. So yeah, lots coming up. So Akeem, G Doggy Dog, shout out to you. Okay, A. Jobson said, what's up, Daze? Started a new job last Monday. I love it. I'm off until Saturday now. Hopefully back in time for the UFC. Wow, many congrats. What are you doing, AB? What is your new job, buds? Glockness said, I hate Sami, but that's okay, because Sami Zayn is not a real person. Glockness, shout out to you. Curtis said, imagine where Sami would be if he never got involved with the bloodline. It's true. I don't know. I think the thing with Sami is that he was a great indie wrestler. And actually, when he was in NXT and I was watching him in NXT, he was known as the underdog from the underground. And he was an underdog. The story of Sami trying to win the NXT championship was a big story in NXT. And he would try and he would fail and he'd have setbacks. And what they're doing with him now, him trying to get a world title, is very reminiscent of what they did with him in NXT. So I feel like this is something Triple H did with Sami in NXT and it worked. And then I think now, we're seeing something similar with how he's gone about booking him here. So if the bloodline thing hadn't have happened, I don't know where we would be with Sami. We'd be in a completely different timeline, of course. But I think Triple H has always respected Sami's in-ring work. And I think he knows that if he needs a banging match, Sami's right there. I mean, if you do Sami Nakamura, it's going to bang. If you do Sami Elia, it's going to bang. If you do Sami Gunther, it's going to bang. If you do Sami more than holds his end of the bargain. more than delivers on his end. So I think you can have real confidence that, you know, he will play his part and more. So I think Triple H really respects that. So I think even without the bloodline, I feel like Triple H would have got Sami to something like what we're doing now. Because you could make an argument that what we're doing now has nothing to do with the bloodline. I mean, Sami could have been absolutely ice cold, but win a feud against Carrier, get that mid-card belt from Solo, and then do an open challenge and actually put on banging matches. Don't really need any bloodline stuff for that. So, yes, I agree, Sami might not have that same connection with the crowd without the bloodline, but I'm still confident Triple H would have got Sami to a similar spot like this, because it is very reminiscent of what we did with Sami when he was in NXT. William said Bronson and Braun just haven't worked for me, and it's the same with Solo. They aren't monsters. I don't know what it is exactly. I don't want to think that it's size shaming, but I think I might be a Vince big guy era snob, says William. William, shout out to you. We've said before, I still stand by it. Size matters. I mean, I think that can get a bit misunderstood, though. I mean, when we say that size matters, we're not saying that if you are a smaller wrestler that the doors are closed for you. That's not what we're saying at all. I mean, people can rightfully point at Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. I mean, you would have to not know wrestling history to see that there have been smaller wrestlers that have won top titles. So clearly the door does not close, right? But I think it's harder to get to that level. I think if you are a bigger guy, it's going to be an easier journey. There's going to be more opportunity. It's just going to be easier, right? And I think that's undeniable. Whereas if you're a smaller guy, yeah, you are going to have some extra obstacles that you are going to have to overcome. So with Braun and Bronson, they can absolutely both get to world titles. Wouldn't shock me if Bronson was the world heavyweight champ and Braun was the WWE champ at some point in the future. So by no means is that door closed. By no means. I mean, Bron Breakker, they're already telling you, is going to be a multiple-time world champion, multiple-time WrestleMania main eventer. But there's just something about them that is not clicking at the moment. There is something about them that's not landing. And maybe you're right. I mean, maybe when you've got monsters like Brock that's coming down and, like, you know, it's just like, it's so, how can you look at Braun and feel that same aura? How can Braun, who's clearly not as big, I mean, he's not even like Batista size, right? If he's meant to be this big monster that we're meant to be like really impressed with, that's hard, isn't it? When you've got a bigger monster that's already around. That's hard. I think that is a challenge. It's a little bit like having like a really good promo guy when there's better promo guys around, you know? I think, though, with Braun, they are going with his strength and his size, and they are promoting that. But I think they've also done a lot of work at promoting his athleticism. But athleticism is a real hard one for people to be impressed by. I think with size and muscle, that is visually easy to see and appreciate. I think it's a bit harder to appreciate athleticism, you know, because a lot of wrestlers are athletic. It's hard to know. I mean, they say that Bronson is arguably the most athletic wrestler we've ever had. But how do you measure that? How can you prove that? How do I know that? I can see him running around. I can see how explosive he is. I can see that he is clearly in phenomenal shape and he's got great conditioning, great cardio. I mean, I can see all those boxes that are ticked. But I mean, I see those boxes being ticked by quite a few people. And how are you meant to measure the difference? It's easier when you've got Braun. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can see a difference, but with athleticism, it's a lot harder. So maybe that is part of the challenge. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I just think, like, I find them both about as interesting as dishwater. I mean, they are just really dull. But I find Braun dull. I find when he speaks, he's just a moment away from tripping over his words. I find him to be very repetitive. I just don't find anything he says to be interesting. I think that's a problem. I think the other problem as well is I want to see him and Bronson backstage. I want to see them talking. I want to see some communication. I want to know what they're saying. The fact you're not showing me makes me think they are dull, makes me think they're boring. It makes me think they are not saying anything of interest that I need to watch. It's hurting by not seeing them backstage. If they were backstage and they were like scheming, like we could do this, we could do that, and we could kind of understand their mindsets a bit more. And actually then maybe start to appreciate there is a bit more going on, right? Than them being too dumb, basically like a jacked up J&J security. But if we could appreciate that there was a bit more going on and they were scheming and they were plotting and they were setting traps and they were, having some conversations that are at least engaging and interesting, I think that would help. That would be a good thing. But at the moment, it just really feels like we're just really trying to get over how physically dominating they are and not really much more than that. So, I don't know. I think we could have a big conversation about the vision and how you would fix them and what needs to be tweaked and changed. Nathan said Braun and Bronson are just security for Seth. There's no personality like the Bloodline. If they lose, I would see Seth. I would be angry. I'd be yelling at them. Yeah. And do you know what would be interesting? Imagine if Seth did that, and then imagine if Braun made it clear. He'd take it for a little bit, but then maybe Seth pushes Braun or something, and Braun just looks at him, and Seth backs away. And do you know what I mean? Like, these dynamics, these interactions, these looks, these moments, they mean so much. They make the group so much more interesting. Why are we not doing it? Why are we not doing it? Why are we not doing it? I don't know why we're not doing it. This is the stuff to me that really is hurting this group. These backstage moments, and this is not something new that we've been saying. We've been saying this for a long time. I am a big believer this is what made the Bloodline so great, was that you knew exactly how everyone felt about everyone. And you saw, Jimmy would go up to Sami and be like, look, Jay's just not quite on board at the moment, right? We're going to work it out. And Sami will be like, is there anything I can do? He's like, look, just keep your distance for now. And you've got these, so Jay doesn't like Sami. Jimmy's trying to give Sami advice. Sami wants to make it work. So, Sami is, I've got no problem with Jay. Let's see how we can make this. But no, just give him some space. And it's all these little things as the weeks go by that they just flesh the character out, the relationships. And, then all of a sudden in the ring, someone will give someone a little look and you'll be like, oh, I know what that means. I know what that means. I mean, if Braun looks over at Braun, it doesn't mean nothing right now because we ain't got a clue what either of them are thinking. So if he looks over at Bronson like that, if there's not a quick connection you can make with what Seth has just said or something, that you might not even notice. He might look at him already, and you might not even notice because it doesn't mean a single thing. But if we had some more backstage context, then we could kind of understand the characters a bit more. So, yeah, Nathan, I'm in full agreement with you. I'm in full agreement with you. James said, saying that Daze, Omos is forever in catering. They don't know what to do with him, do they? I think what they've got is they have got a big guy that they like having as an option. Because the thing about him is that he is obviously very green. So actually, when it comes to the bell ringing and him having to wrestle, he gets a little bit lost, right? He's not a wrestler. Let's be honest. He's not a wrestler. He's a tall guy. He's not a wrestler. But they've done a bit of work with him. So, he's got a bit of a basic that he can do. So I think that they kind of go, well, we've got this big guy. And he can, when the bell rings, he can find a way through a match. He can chuck some people around and he can be safe and, he can sell a little bit and whatever. He's good to throw in AAA. He's good to send over to Noah. He's good if we need a mystery partner last minute. Like, do you know what I mean? Austin Theory's being picked on. He needs to find a partner. Omos's music hits and here comes the big man. I'll tell you the other thing as well is by not overexposing him, he feels special. I mean, I don't know about you, but if Omos comes walking out on Raw or SmackDown, it's going to be a moment. People are going to be excited because we don't see him. We just don't see him. So him coming out, big guy like Omos, you go, oh, mate, they've messed up. It's actually, from a psychology point of view, from a psychological point of view, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. You could make an argument that this is the kind of booking they should have done with Big Show. This is the kind of booking they should have done with the great Carlee. The difference now is that WWE have got a lot more partnerships. You know, they've got a partnership with TNA. They've purchased AAA. We've got Evolve. We've got NXT. We're working with Noah. We've got a little relationship with All Japan Wrestling. So, you know, we've got the Indies as well. We've got these WWE ideas. We've got all these relationships now. And we didn't really have them under Vince. There was not really anywhere to send Omos because we didn't really have any relationships. TKO, that has been a big strategy of theirs to really build these relationships. That's been a big strategy of theirs. So I think that, you know, we're in a situation where they are really doing a good job of kind of, you know, getting these relationships and giving us places to send Omos. And I don't know, I'll be quite excited when we see him. I'll be quite excited when he comes out. It is true, though. I mean, James isn't wrong. Like, size is not everything. Because Omos is one of the biggest we've ever had, and he ain't nowhere near a world title. But equally, you know, his wrestling is so obviously not there. You know, you've got to have a degree of wrestling ability. I don't know why they don't just shove him in NXT, to be honest with you. Just train him up. Just, you know, perhaps he does spend a lot of time at the Performance Center. Perhaps they are trying to improve him a lot behind the scenes. I have no idea what his schedule is like. No idea. I mean, really, what's the point in him just sitting in catering or sitting at home? You might as well at least have him go to the Performance Center week in, week out. Who knows? Flipping next. If he has been doing that, next time we see him, he might be like Daniel Bryan. Right, Bron Breakker is the most overhyped star in WWE history, says Brony. Right, Daze, I've got a Kendal Gray rookie card. She's in the new Topps Finest set. Oh, that's great. Big fan of Kendal Gray. That's definitely a keeper, That's a keeper. Steve said, near his end, Vince always took huge giants, made them seem like threats for a short period, but then turned them into jokes. They never felt special, said Steve. I think part of the problem is that when you have a giant and you have kind of presented them as a monster and then had them beaten, it's hard to keep building them back up. Do you know what I mean? There's only so many times you can sort of get away with that. And I think that you're absolutely right. There was quite a few times where there was big guys that he'd bring in as a monster and then really just not know what to do with them, just sort of really run out of steam. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, Omos is the first giant that Triple H and TKO are booking. And they're definitely going about it a different way. Trini said, I'm in the kind of pain that makes you want to slap a biatch. That biatch being myself. Trini, shout out to you. I'm sorry to hear that you're going through some hard times. William said, Trini, just know that I truly care and I am pulling for you to get up and around. William does mean masturbating. I know that you've kind of already worked that out, but he definitely does mean that. William also said, I think Omos can wrestle. He's just so big compared to everyone else that he's got a problem just hiding moves. Omos doesn't need moves. Give him Callie's booking. Oh. Especially Bronson. Austin's feud with Braun and him hitting Seth with 6 tsunamis was amazing, but now he just feels like a sidekick to Seth and Braun. I agree with that. Scottish Chris said, Daze, there was talk Omos was going to work with AAA. Yes, I remember. Nothing's really come of it apart from that appearance in the Battle Royal, has it? So, yeah, I'm not sure as to where we're going with that. James said, Omos should just be someone's bodyguards. Brony said, the Bloodline story was so good that when we have another faction like the Vision, we can pair them to the Bloodline, but it's just nowhere close. The interactions in the Bloodline are what made it special. I agree. I think we will see Omos next at the Rumble in Saudi, said Steve. You could be right. He would get a great reaction there, actually. Austin said, I've been lurking in the backgrounds, but I've got so interested in the conversation. So Austin 316 says, I'm here for a little bit. Well, Austin, it's always lovely to see you around. Austin's been with this channel so long. Community has kind of evolved over that time. And yeah, it's always great to see you around, buds. I think it's great as well that like you've joined us and you're interested in the conversation. So that's good. That means that we're having good, interesting conversations, and that I think that's what we hope to do. That's why we always start a bit early, of course, get people's thoughts on different topics. And I never know where we're going. I didn't know we were going to dial in on Omos for a little bit, but I'm totally fine with doing that. Nathan said Seth is this generation's macho man, but the thing is, Randy Savage was cool. That's the difference. Austin said more Rio and Kabuki warriors on Raw. Besides Roman's return, they've been the best thing on Raw. Scottish Chris said, I feel before MVP left, he and Omos could have been special, but that was wasted. Yeah, I mean, that was during the pandemic, wasn't it? I don't know quite where we were going to end up with that. I think MVP just doesn't like Triple H at all. Can't work with him. Can't stand him. Doesn't like working with him. Feels that there is an agenda. And I don't think it was ever going to work, was it really, when he took over? So he's over in AEW now, isn't he? Doing is it the Hurt Syndicate, I believe they're called. I don't know how that's been going, but yeah, hopefully that's been working well for AEW. They've got a big show tonight, haven't they? I believe they've got their 6-year anniversary. Crazy to think that they've been going 6 years. That's crazy. That's good. A lot of people didn't think they would make 5 years. Genuinely, there was a lot of people saying I give them 3 to 5 years. I think they'll be done. Here they are at year 6. So, gotta say respect. MVP, Scottish Chris said, MVP said in multiple interviews he doesn't respect Triple H as a person or as a boss. Yeah, it was never going to work, was it? Never going to work. So, a real shame. I agree. It would have been interesting to have known where that would have led to, where that could have got us to. Microsoft hikes Xbox Game Pass Ultimate by 50% to $29.99 a month. $30 a month. Gee whiz. William said, YouTube holds the comment, Brony. We have to approve it for some reason. As YouTube turned on Brony, it was only a matter of time, to be honest. It was only a matter of time. I would like to see Bron and Jay together at some point, said Sim Slam. Maybe tag or pair in together. Well, not impossible. I think obviously there's going to have to be a lot of tweaking and swerving and changing for us to get to that team, but not impossible. Dan said, champ, everything was wild yesterday. I shocked everything from last night. Oh, really? You enjoyed it? You were shocked by what went down on NXT? I thought NXT was okay. On our review video, there was a real mix, but I had a nightmare with Unseen. Unseen was delayed by about 5 hours. I mean, I was sat here, no word of a lie, for about half an hour just pressing the refresh button because it said folders are not available on X. And what I find is if I press it a few times, the folders load, right? So I sat here and I was just like, refresh, 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 refresh. And it became addictive because I was like, if I stop, I mean, like, I'm not going to be able to do Unseen. So I was just like refreshing. Then I'd close the browser. Then I'd open it again and go refresh, refresh, refresh. It wasn't. After about half an hour, I was like, okay, I've got the message. And so that's why I started doing the game and like getting the game prepped. When I came back, it was working again. So Unseen was massively delayed, which was really annoying and very, very frustrating. But yeah, it was a good show. I mean, for me, we did the review. We managed to get the review done. And I gave it like a 6.5. I think the matches just dragged it down a little bit. I think there was, some decisions they made, like especially Kalani being the leader. I find that very frustrating. And there's like decisions and things like that just kind of brought my score down. But yeah, big brawl at the end. And not the first time we'd seen a big brawl. Obviously, we had a brawl just the week before. So they kind of reran that. So it was a bit of a repeat. So yeah, I felt like with NXT, there was some good stuff that happened. But really, I don't think anyone would deny it was a show to set up a show. It was a show that was really all about building next week. I mean, next week is going to be absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Need to get like a proper thumbnail sorted for that, to be honest. I have to get that added to the list as well. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week's show. He did a good job of building up next week's show. Austin said, have you been keeping up with LS Dub's videos? They're really good and thought out. I haven't, to be honest. You know me. I mean, I'm just so busy that I don't really get a chance to keep up with. Left a like and a comment and everything. I'm already subscribed to his channel. If the algorithm ever recommends one, I'd be more than happy to click on it and watch it. I'm not surprised in the slightest that his videos are very well thought out. He's very careful with his comments, isn't he, in the chat as well? Like even his tweets online, I think, are very thought out. I don't think he rushes into things. I think he is very good at like thinking and analysing and finding his own way forward. And yeah, I totally believe his videos to be good. So if you've not checked out LS Dub's channel, his videos, more than happy to promote it. More than happy to say that I'm subscribed. I've already watched his first one. But no, I mean, look, I would not want to lie to you guys and say I watch them all and when I don't and whatever. For me, as I said, like my plan is I'll do this stream. Then after this stream, I will go on to my notifications. I'm probably about 8 hours out. I need to catch up with the last 8 hours. Go through my notifications, get caught up on that, then have a look at the news to make sure if there's anything that's been missed that I didn't get tagged in. Normally, I'm tagged in pretty much everything. But there can always be the odd thing that slipped by, so then I have to just double check that. Record the video, upload the video. By the time that's done, I'm probably knocking on the door to 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I need to finish off the game. So I've got to finish off tomorrow's members game. That'll take me a couple of hours to finish. Then I'm probably at about 7, 8. And then I need to start my research for UFC. So by the time I've done that, it's lunchtime. Time for me to go to bed. When I get up, I'll have something to eat. Then, of course, I've got the member stream. Then I've got the wrestling escape pod. Then I got to go and do Unseen again. Then I got to finish off my research for UFC. I mean, that is just really how my days go. It is that day after day after day. I just don't really find the time. I can put things on whilst I'm kind of doing other bits, though. So, but to be honest with you, I would just look for whatever YouTube flipping recommended. Most of the time now, I've just started to watch, there's a lot of Americans that react to like British TV shows. I've just started to chuck them on in the background now, because they can just play in the background. I don't need to pay them attention. I'm no good at watching videos I have to concentrate on or pay attention to. But if there's someone like reacting to like a stand-up, Do you know what I mean? If you miss a joke, it doesn't matter. You just let it play off in the background. So there's a lot of Americans that react to British stand-up comedians. And it's really interesting watching Americans discover like Peter Kay for the first time, or Lee Evans for the first time, or Sarah Millican for the first time. We've got some really great stand-up comedians, just like in America. You've got some great stand-up comedians. We've got some great stand-up comedians. Although I don't think our comedians are known in America, whereas a lot of American comedians will be known in the UK. But I don't know, actually. I mean, there's a lot of stand-up specials, isn't there, now on Netflix? Perhaps it's easier to find people now. Don't know. Haven't really thought about that. Back in my day, going back about 10 years ago, comedians used to just release DVDs. And so you would get the DVD, and that's how you would kind of watch their content. Now it's all Netflix specials, Amazon specials. It's all specials, isn't it now? Do you know, there's probably so many stand-up shows that I've not watched. So many I just don't watch specials. I don't watch Netflix specials and whatever. I should probably have a look at like the best Netflix stand-up specials of all time and just like work my way down those. Because I do love a bit of stand-up comedy. Who doesn't? It's brilliant. So yeah, maybe I should like have a little chip through those. That could be kind of fun. Jimmy Carr. Yeah, Jimmy Carr's good, but he's not for everyone, is he? Jimmy Carr. I think William would like Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr is very vulgar, blue, risky. I mean, like, you've really got to be. If you're a sensitive person, don't go anywhere near Jimmy Carr, right? He is someone that his comedy is like, it's meant to shock. It's meant to be shocking. It's meant to be kind of, I can't believe he said that. That kind of comedy, you know. And in this day and age, that just does not fly with everyone. So, I don't mind Jimmy Carr. I mean, I know what he's saying is just a joke. I know that he's just joking. He's actually a mainstream TV presenter over here. So he's not like this niche kind of hidden away type presenter. Is mainstream, is on our main TV channels. He's a big star. So I think people in the UK kind of know his comedy, and they know that he's just joking. He's just a comedian. But definitely, if you used to watch him and not kind of go in prepared, I think some people might get offended. Some people definitely would get offended. James said, who's your favorite all-time comedian? That's a brilliant question, James. And the answer is going to be one that is not going to work for most people, to be honest with you. A lot of people might not have ever seen his work. Some people will have, but I find him not only funny, but very, very thought-provoking. And I can't say that of someone like Peter Kay, or I can't say that of like Lee Evans. I think Peter Kay, Lee Evans, they are mainstream. They are, put them on, you can watch it with your family. There might be the odd little thing that, might be a bit awkward. Not so much with Peter Kay, but sometimes Lee Evans might, stray a little bit into something, but not much. It's family friendly by and large. And, they're just big stadium, like big arena type shows for the masses. I mean, I remember when I was working in the entertainment store, we used to have their DVDs piled up in piles, right? On the floor, you would just stack them up. And by the end of the day, the pile had pretty much gone. I mean, like Peter Kay, Lee Evans, they were always amongst the best sellers at Christmas because it's such a great gift. Do you know what I mean? Like a stand-up DVD, just a great stocking filler. They were hilarious. Everyone loved them. So, I mean, I've got nothing but love for those guys. Same with Michael McIntyre, who is also of a similar kind. He is that sort of, everyone can watch him. Sarah Millican, not so much. Her comedy was a little bit more about relationships and sex and stuff. So maybe not so much for the family, but she was fun. But my favourite is a comedian called Stuart Lee. And the thing with Stuart Lee is he is many comedians' favourite comedian. Like, if you look at countdown lists, he's normally there or thereabouts. But honestly, many of you could watch his stand-up and just not find it funny at all. Many of you could watch it and be like, this is meant to be the best. But I really get it. I just really understand what he's trying to do. I mean, I think I really enjoy, like, believe it or not, I enjoy the boundaries of comedy being explored. I enjoyed the Mighty Boosh, right? I enjoy people trying to find humor, maybe not in the, or have you been to a party with your girlfriend and your girlfriend does that, you know, that kind of observational comedy that everyone does. He isn't so much about that. He kind of interacts with the audience a little bit and actually goes off on his audience. He'll tell a joke and the room will be a bit quiet and he'll be like, okay, let's try and figure out why that's not worked then. So over here, we can see that it landed quite... And he will start picking the room apart. So he'll be like, this is a good area down here, right? You lot need to be more like these people, right? Over here, very cold. Very cold. And he will start dissecting the room, splitting the room up, alienating groups. He might even select individual people in the make them feel awkward. And... you know, he'll quite happily like stand and be quiet on stage, waiting till everyone has kind of, you know, got on the same page. If he doesn't feel like the audience are with him, he'll be like, okay, we're just going to wait a minute or so. Yeah, you can all think about, like, you know, actually joining me as part of this routine. And so we'll wait, shall we? And so he'll stand and he'll wait. I think it takes real balls to stand on stage, have everyone staring at you, and you're just waiting. You're not doing anything. You're just waiting for everyone. And you can hear like people starting to laugh, right? And he'll just do he'll just look at his watch and people will laugh because the joke is there's a comedian that's upset with the crowds. And, you know, he'll just look at his watch and he'll be like, and people are laughing and they're like, you know, they're involved and they're connected. And it's different. It's really different from, I went to the shops the other day, I couldn't believe the price of milk or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like that observational stuff. It's very, very clever. He's very clever. He dissects what stand-up actually is. He explores what stand-up actually is. It's very thought-provoking. I really, as I said, not only does he make me laugh, but he really explores what stand-up is, and I think he's very, very clever. He even jokes about that. He says that, like, all of his fans, jokes about how his fans don't have a clue what he's actually doing, but they think they know. And then as a fan, you go, do I know what he's doing? I think I know what he's doing. I'm telling you right now he's clever. But in the same routine, it'll be like, you haven't got a clue what I'm doing. And you're like, do I? Do I not? Do I know what he's doing? And it makes you doubt yourself. It's honestly, he gets in your head. I find him so entertaining. I really, but not for everyone. I would not sit here and recommend him. I am not saying go and check him out. I am not saying that. I think that he is very specialist. I think he's very specialist. Not everyone will appreciate his work. But you can check out Lee Evans. He's hilarious, and everyone loves Lee Evans. I've yet to meet someone that doesn't love Lee Evans. But yeah, put in your favourite in the chat. Who do you love? What stand-up comedians are your favourites? Over here, I think the god of stand-up is widely regarded as Billy Connolly. Billy Connolly is kind of seen as being the guy. He's kind of seen as the man. And yeah, there's a lot of love for Billy Connolly. Masses, Peter Kay, Lee Evans. I tell you who's loved at the moment, and I'm really pleased to see it because I loved him back in the day. Again, someone else that would explore what comedy was, and that's Bob Mortimer. So I used to love Shooting Stars. It was a TV show, quiz, but it was like wacky comedy, zany comedy, silly comedy, if you will, right? They would do these little rhymes and they would have props and, you know, they would do funny walks and all that sort of stuff. Oh, my God. So they had me in tears some of the time. Tears. But Bob Mortimer now is on TV quite a bit. He's obviously quite old now. I mean, he must be in his 60s, I think, now. Oh, my God. You can find so many clips of Bob Mortimer online. People flipping love him in the UK. Some of the stories that he tells and whatever, just people are in tears, mate. Flipping love him. Days, what about Jack Whitehall, says Kian. I don't mind Jack Whitehall. He's kind of part of that newer generation to me. So he's not someone that I've massively watched. Jack Whitehall and Russell Howard's. For me, those were kind of comedians from like the 2010s that, they were kind of bringing things forward. They weren't really doing anything that I saw that was that interesting. I think they just tell jokes, and that's about it, really. I mean, the thing I love about Stuart Lee is, as I said, it kind of goes into like performance art, really. I mean, I studied theatre studies. I love things that make me think. I love things that are different, and like Stuart Lee is definitely that. He's not just going to go on and tell you jokes. He uses a lot of repetition. And he during his sets tries to explore kind of how far the boundaries are. I've seen him just making noises for like 5 minutes, where he's trying to see if he can keep the crowd engaged. And just as the crowd kind of go, okay, we've had enough of this now, he'll keep going, and the crowd come back. It's so interesting. It's really interesting. I love that stuff that makes you think about like how far can you push things. So yeah, I mean, Jack Whitehall, Russell Howard's, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what other new comedians. I couldn't even tell you any comedians now. As I said, I ain't watched no Netflix specials in like 10 years. So, I mean, I'm really out the loop. But when I was working in an entertainment store, one of my favourite things was doing night shifts at Christmas. I'd always work overnight during December and repair the shop, get ready for the next day. And we used to just get a DVD from stand-up, put it on the screens, the sound would play in the store, the visuals would be on the screens above the till, and we'd work whilst the stand-up was playing. Great thing about stand-up is you don't normally have to watch it. You can just listen. So, and as soon as that finished, we'd move on to the next one. We'd pretty much watch every stand-up that was available that year, and we'd just blast our way through them. Just laughing the night away, repairing the shop, getting it ready for the next day, when you left in the morning and the shop looked mint again, you had a real sense of pride, like you'd really achieved something, and you just laughed the night away. And you got paid a little extra because it was a night shift as well. Mate, I flipping loved those days. I loved those days. So I listened to loads of different things, but that was probably more the 2000s, early 2010s. Probably did listen to maybe a bit of Russell Howard at that time. I don't remember Jack Whitehall having one out though, but I have seen like some clips of his online. Right, we've got a minute to go. I've already got Evolve lined up. I am ready. I've actually turned the VPN on and we're holding. We had some issues earlier, but we're actually doing okay. So I'm ready if people are like, okay, stop talking. We've got to watch Evolve. Hey, listen, I'm ready. I'm waiting for that to click over and then we will be underway. Dave SmackDown did 1.47 according to Raj Giri. He has a WWE source that said it was 707 for NXT. That is now confirmed. That's good. Another number came out as 123. Well, it's all looking a bit messy, isn't it? James said mine is Lee Evans. Yeah, he is amazing. I do love the old school comedians like Jeffro and Billy Connolly. And for the jokes, Roy Chubby Brown. Some greats, some classics. Yeah, Lee Evans, if it was like just pure mass, the kind of thing everyone watches, like just, if someone was to like tell me a comedian that I can watch and I would enjoy, yeah, Lee Evans. Lee Evans would probably be my go-to. I probably preferred him a little over Peter Kay, honestly. I think Lee Evans, yeah. Right, here we go then. Boom, I've pressed play. To Tubi. Guys, you're hearing what I'm hearing, but I've took the sound away now. You need to go to Tubi if you want to experience what I'm experiencing. Hey, they've updated the Then Now Forever. Yes. Yes, that's us. We told them last week, didn't we? The community sent a message saying you haven't changed it. But they've changed it now. There we go. Then, now, forever, together. Now we're seeing what went down last week. Evolve Succession is on the way. Austin said, I'm going to head out now, but enjoy the show. Shout out to you, buds. I love the new update intro. It's awesome, said Nathan. Mate, this match was so good last week. This match was so good. I don't know if you heard, but apparently, obviously, they tape a few episodes in advance, right? So they've already done Kylie Kendal. Someone was there and online said it's one of the best women's title matches they have seen in a long time. I don't want to build it up to be something mind-blowing, but I do think it's going to deliver. When we get to that Succession show in a few weeks, the streets are saying that Kylie against Kendal delivers. And how does it not? To me, those are the two standout women in Evolve. I think, once again, the women are ahead of the guys. I'm way more excited about the women's division than I am the men's. You know what I'm going to say, though. I really want to see that Sam Holloway again. If I was booking, I was really excited by his look. The Hangman, Sam Holloway. Perhaps that wouldn't work because of Hangman Adam Page, but it feels like he needs like some sort of gimmick like that. Okay, Adrenaline Drip are coming out. Love these guys. Cartwheel and Cappuccino Jones. Oh, yeah, all these coffee cups. Do you know what? I never really thought about this, but why don't they put people in the crowds that are from the PC just to fill it out? I wonder if that's what they've done. You know, if you're at the PC, why don't you just go in the crowds? Granted, you don't want people that are on Evolve or NXT. So you need those people that haven't quite made it to Evolve yet. Well, I'm sure there's quite a few of them. They could fill out the crowds. And actually, the crowd's looking not too bad here. It has been a little bit thin previously. Okay, here's Jax Presley and Harley Riggins. So, Presley and Riggins. Now, we've only seen these guys once before. We really don't know them. I still don't even know who Presley and Riggins actually are. I'm guessing the R on the front is for Riggins. The one that looks a bit like Jeff Hardy. In fact, they both look a bit like Jeff Hardy. They've definitely been inspired. Stars don't set the rings up. Where I come from, they're called indie workers. Angel said, what happened to the VIP section on Evolve? That was a thing. Yeah, they got rid of it. They got rid of it quite quickly, actually. So I think it was only there for like the first set of tapings, and then it was done. I didn't mind it. I don't think there was much you could necessarily do with it. It was just a good place to have some talent come and watch the action. But decision was made to move on from it. Nice double drop kick there by Adrenaline Drip. Charging over. Big clothesline. Riggins to the outsides. So Riggins on the outside. Cartwheel brings the adrenaline. Jones brings the caffeine. Here's Riggins. Cartwheeling out the way, gets the ropes. Lovely. Over after that top rope, mate. Oh my God. Nice. Leapfrog. Oh, he landed. He's landed funny there. I don't know if he's just playing possum. He's gone down, Riggins. Could be possum, couldn't it? I think it's my calf. Presley's coming over. Why would you include this if it was not? Oh, Riggins is frustrated. Yeah, I think it's possum. Yeah, a little wink there. Bang to the back. Yeah, that's good. That was good. Yeah, he did a great job with that. The only reason I thought he was playing possum is I was like, wouldn't you just cut this match? Why would you include it? Because this is taped. So why would you include it? Because it's a bit awkward. That was the only thing I was thinking. And that meant they could jump the baby faces against the ropes. Shoulder barge, down goes Cartwheel. 1, 2, kick out there by Cartwheel. It keeps looping. Is there tech support, said Akeem? Well, it keeps looping for you. Days, when I hear Peter Kay, all I think is garlic bread, said James. It's a classic line. I think he was, I don't know if he was selling garlic bread shirts. I think he was. At his shows. I've heard that he's got a bit of a problem at the moment, though, like some health issue where he's had to cancel some dates. Double knees to the back there, a backstabber by Riggins. He is like a cross between Diesel and Jeff Hardy. Right now we got Jack Cartwheel over against the ropes. Cartwheel, middle of the ring. Right now, we've got working. Oh, just grabbing those nerves. Right now, he's got a knee in the back. Pulling back on the arms. It's good work, this, by Riggins. But Cartwheel getting back up to his feet. So, I kind of like what they've done here, the heels. They've managed to gain the momentum, and they've kept it. Nice sell there by Cartwheel as Presley comes in. Prevents him from making the tag, but back elbows. We got 4 matches we got to get through here, so I don't think any of the matches can stick around too long. That was a big mistake by Presley. That was a big mistake. He ended up flipping Cartwheel over. Cartwheel went back to his corner. Tags made. In comes Cappuccino Jones. Jones, middle rope, back elbow. He's fired up. Cappuccino. Chino going up. Chino perched. Crossbody. Gets it. Tag being made. Here comes Jack Cartwheel. Bang. Kick coming in. Into a German. Going for the cover. Riggins makes the save. Riggins has got Cappuccino up on his shoulders. The HR. Oh, mates! Jesus! That was so impressive. How did he do that? Backbreaker by Presley. Top rope into a twist. And he actually ends up splashing the person in the ring. So he went from a moonsault, rotated into a splash. That is so impressive. I don't think I've ever seen that from the ropes. To the outside. Jesus. Jack Cartwheel. Into a cartwheel. Back elbow. Cappuccino making the tag. They're so good. Cartwheel. Driving Presley down into a suicide dive. 1, 2, 3. And it's a win for Adrenaline Drip. So good. That move is so good. So we got the crowd celebrating, dancing away. They're going to show the replay in a moment. Hopefully they're going to show a replay. Yeah, there was the wink. That got the momentum. Let's do a poll, shall we? Is this on Peacock, said Jacob. No, it's over on Tubi. Tubi, which is free to watch in America. Just go to the website. In the UK, you'll need a VPN. But it works absolutely fine if you have a VPN. I've been watching it for weeks. Yeah, really good. We just came back with the double shots. Okay, there's Tate Wilder. He's taking on Idris Enofi, and as we know, that's going to be his final. That's going to be his final match, or we believe his final match. Idris announcing that he was stepping away from WWE. I wonder what happened to Tony D. WWE left us on a cliffhanger months ago, said Angel. I think we'll get back to it. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's had a little injury to deal with, or if they're doing a bit of a repackage, or feels like they're working on something, doesn't it? Here's Super Sean Legacy. You got to give your opponent your undivided attention. Okay, Idris Enofi against Tate Wilder. That's coming up next. Nathan said, I love a good latte. I'd love to hang out with Cappuccino Jones. Wrestling Void said, what VPN do you use? I use McAfee VPN. I've got the McAfee security on my computer. So that has like, a firewall and, the security kind of stuff. That's the security software that I use just to protect my computer. Well, that comes with a built-in VPN. So I get like computer protection and VPN by using that. So I just actually had to pay for it again. I don't even know how long it was for. I had to pay like 70, 80 pounds. I don't know how long it protects me for, to be honest. Does it say somewhere? No. Accounts, my subscription. Expires 2027. So I did it on the 17th of August. So it must have given me 2 years protection for that. So it was about £80 for 2 years protection. So, but as I said, not only will it protect my computer for that time period, but also I get the VPN as part of it. Which is not bad, actually. If you think £40 a year, I don't know how much VPNs are, but £40 a year, you'd probably pay that just for the VPN, wouldn't you? Not bad, said Wrestling Voids. Riggins looks like Raven. Riggins looks like Raven, said Frank. Ref Vic, said Glockness. Jacob said, I love me a white chocolate frap with 4 shots of espresso. 4 shots. Dude, I've never had 4 shots. I've had 2. Jacob said 40s. Not bad. Okay, here's Vanity Projects. You need to lock in. Ooh. I don't know why we're perving. Bryce is saying to Jackson, look at me. I know what I need to do. And I know what I'm going to do. Oh, Jackson's pushing Bryce. This is who I need. Jackson Drake just strikes me as like the next Ethan Page. I think I've said that before. Okay, so they were quite confrontational, but Jackson managing to turn that around. Yeah, he actually dealt with it really well. He dealt with it really well because he was like, this is the person I need. That's the fire I need. I like Idris and Ofe. I feel like this was something that could have gone somewhere. I don't know if he wasn't feeling it or what. I mean, clearly he couldn't have believed in it that much if he's decided to step away, but I like the entrance, man, when he puts his arms out like that and the robe just falls away. I find this more interesting than what Lexis King does. Well, he's not around anymore. Preston said, I need to be lucky. I need my mom's truck gone. There's evil spirits that's made me have bad luck. My TV keeps falling and stuff like that, said Preston. Your mom's truck has brought evil spirits into your life. That's not a comment you read every day. Are you sure your mom's truck has brought evil spirits into your life? Where did your mom get the truck from? Where it said, I don't have much credit. Everything I had was paid off like loans and whatnot. Mom screwed me over with credit card. She got in my name and then never paid the bill. Really, buds? Damn. Your mom took a credit card out in your name and then didn't pay off the bill. Dude, that's crazy. I don't know what's going on in the chat. There's some crazy comments that have shown that have popped up. I'm really sorry to hear that, Wes. Hopefully you're managing to get that sorted. Okay, we are underway with Idris and Tate. Wes said, 670 credit score is still good, though. Steve said, I liked Idris. Maybe he felt like he wasn't where he wanted to be by now. I can understand that. Hopefully, whatever he does next is what he is looking for. Okay, over in the corner goes Tate. Here comes Idris. Colliding in the corner. Wilder goes up to the outsides. Idris. This match shouldn't go too long, to be honest. As we said, we got 4 matches on this show. We've had 1 so far. Crowd are booing away. We'll end our poll. Looks like you guys really enjoyed that first match. You've actually given it a great score. Great 64. Great 64. Jacob said, student loans sucked me into a credit score black hole. They can do that. I've heard a lot of people saying that student loans have had that effect. As well as fraudulent billing practices by a company named LifeStance. I have heard that about student loans. Tate to the outsides. Double knees to the midsection was really good. Tate coming off that middle rope. Big kick coming in there by Idris. That was lovely. Tate came off that rope and Idris met him with double knees to the guts, to the midsection. Idris interrupted Sean Legacy's interview after his recent victory. The only downside with this is we know that Idris is not sticking around. That's the only downside. I mean, there's some stuff here to really admire. Clothesline there by Idris. There's just no guarantee that he would have got anywhere, though. I mean, we don't know that he would have got anywhere. Shot coming in there by Tate Wilder. Clothesline there by Idris. Going for the pin. 1, 2. Kick out there by Tate Wilder. So Idris is in control. There's a sign in the crowd for Tate Wilder. I do think friends and family, certainly if they're in the area, are kind of encouraged to come along. Shots blocked there. Shot to the midsection by Tate Wilder. And again, big boot coming in there by Idris. We are just 2 weeks away from Evolve Succession. And also on October 25th, Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc. Right now we got Wilder getting up. We've got Idris getting up. Knee to the midsection there by Idris. Looking for Sleeper No Joy. Oh, slam down. Tate Wilder has never met a challenge he didn't tackle head on. Idris is on his feet. Shot coming into the midsection. And again. Tate Wilder on his feet. Bang! Another big blow. Another big blow. Duck underneath. Over the other side. Clothesline there by Tate Wilder. I actually don't mind this match, you know. Sometimes we've watched people that are leaving and we know they're leaving. We've seen that before. And you can be like, oh, I'm just struggling with this. We know these people don't stick around. But here, like, we know Idris is going, but it's really good. 2 weeks' time, Wednesday, October 15th, Evolve Succession. Top rope is removed. Ref Fix going out, grabbing that turnbuckle. Idris has gone to the outsides. He's gone over. He's grabbed a chair. Oh, here's Sean Legacy. Super Sean Legacy comes down. Sean Legacy has snatched that chair off the top. Whoa! Big crossbody by Wilder. That was huge. Dude, did you see it? He he kind of went into a star. Normally when you do a crossbody, you keep your legs and your arms together and not it was like this. Down goes Idris. This has given Tate Wilder the momentum. Super Sean Legacy on the outside. Come on. Going over, grabbing Idris. Looking for a suplex. No, reverse by Idris. Roll up. 1, 2. No joy. No joy. As Idris now. Look. No, reverse. Oh! Netbreaker going over to the top, looking for a moonsault. Gets it. Slightly overshot it, but got enough of it to get the win. Perhaps that was the moment Idris was like, mate, if I'm not even beating Tate Wilder, no offense. No offense, but if I'm not even beating Tate Wilder, then... who are these people that are chanting cappuccino? The people in the crowds. I think there is a lot of friends and a lot of family members that go, but I think normal fans can find a way in. I'd love to go. If I was to go back to Florida, I would try and find a way of going to Evolve. I think it's just a great thing to say you went to. It's like a badge of honor, really. I think it's a badge of honor to say you watched this thing. I was shocked when I looked on YouTube to see that these only get about 40-odd thousand views, these episodes. They only get about 40,000 views on YouTube. I know most in America watch on Tubi, of course, so it's not going to include America. But the rest of the world, only about 40,000 people watch. That's crazy, isn't it? So, I mean, if you're here right now, die hard. Die hard. I meant wrestlers. You meant wrestlers. But these are the people that are kind of at that level where they're trying to get to NXT. They're not quite NXT level. So they're trying to get to that level. So some of these are people that you will see on NXT in the very near future. James said, have you ever heard of Kevin Bloody Wilson or Stephen Lynch? They're not for people easily offended. I haven't, to be honest. I don't mind that though. I mean, as long as I find it funny, I think a joke's a joke in it. I'm okay with that kind of humor. Hello, weakest link. Celebrity weakest link. God, I ain't some weakest link in years. Hey, look, there's Wendy Choo. Okay. Thank you. You should do TikToks, Wendy. Wendy's changing, man. Here's Nikita. Are we going to do Nikita against Wendy Choo? But Wendy Choo is going to be the face. Kendal coming out with Kylie Bright. Okay, Kylie Bright and Kendal Gray. Okay, this is going to be good because this is going to feature Callie Armstrong, the current women's champion. We haven't seen loads of Kylie Bright, to be honest. We've seen a lot of Kendal Gray, though. Go, go, go. Too strong, Armstrong. Oh, blimey now. Just got a booty. Just got a booty. Armstrong. Too strong. Armstrong. Too strong. Armstrong. Let's go, says Callie. Okay, it's exciting to see Callie Armstrong. The Evolve Women's Champion. Very exciting talent. We're going to be watching her in a few weeks' time against Kendal Gray. And as we said, we've heard that match is a banger. Armstrong. I just saw James say about Andrade is back in AEW. That's interesting. Wrestling Void, shout out to you. But Jacob said, so it's pre-NXT. It is pre-NXT. Yeah, pre-NXT. You got to be a real diehard fan to be on these streams, as we said. I don't even think that's a controversial take. I think if you are so interested in WWE that you are going to go a level below NXT, there's many people that don't even go to the NXT level. Working on the arm of Callie. Okay, we are underway. Kylie Bright, Callie Armstrong. I think it's been a really solid show so far tonight. I think it's been a really solid offer him. Really enjoyed the opening match. I got way more out of that second match than I was expecting. You lot scored that second match. Good 97. Can Callie and Carly keep the good vibes going? Callie, look at the power. Carly, though, blocking it. Carly going over against the ropes. Kylie. Oh, takeover by Carly. Kylie was in the middle of something there. Looked like it might have been a backbreaker. But Carly managed to get Kylie over. Carly has got that headlock applied, getting back up to her feet. Kylie picks up Carly, dumps Carly to the outside. So Carly goes to the outside. Kendal's round, having a word. Trying to give some encouragement as Kylie comes out, goes after Carly. She grabs Carly, looking to throw her in the ring, gets her in the ring. Kylie has a word there with Kendal. Carly crawling over to the corner, using the ropes to get back up to her feet. Kylie charging in. Driving that shoulder right into the midsection. And Carly definitely feeling the effects right now. And again. Down goes Carly. She gets scooped up. Kylie, bang, drives Carly down, goes for the cover. No joy. Akeem said, I think my Tubi account just got jacked. Reloaded the app as a guest. Oh. Shot coming in there by Kylie. Crowd are chanting away, cheering away to the outsides. Goes Carly. Carly down. Again, Kendall's round, trying to offer some words of encouragement. Just over here, being as usual, my favourite pastime, I started yelling in the kitchen, said Corey. Corey, hello. Hope you're doing well. Here we go. We got Carly trying to get into the ring. Kylie ready to pounce elbow. And again, those elbows look moody, mate. Baseball slides. No, another elbow, but Carly moves. She should have baseball slid. Known as a high-flying powerhouse. Is she? Carly. Shoulder. Goes straight into that ring post. Carly with a clothesline. Kylie goes down. Yeah, Carly coming back. Duck underneath. Against the ropes goes Carly. Oh, lovely takeover. Kylie in the corner. Kylie struggling a little bit here with Carly. Carly looking to cartwheel over. Takes Kylie over. Kylie is a little bit all at sea. Oh, wow. What a bulldog. Going for the cover to Carly. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. They're giving Carly Bright a lot of offense. Maybe a bit too much offense. Carly is climbing up. Looking with a crossbody, getting caught there by Kylie. No, insides. To kick out there by Kylie. Robert Stone said he's sweating a little bit. This is a hell of a lot closer than we expected. She can't catch her, can she? There she does. Lovely. Power slam. Power slam there by Kylie. Kylie picking up that speed. Going over against the ropes. Bang! The Kylie connection. Carly Bright is down. Yeah, I'm surprised at how much offense Carly got, but it wouldn't have helped Carly much if she'd just got squashed. She's going to go again, look. Another Kylie connection. Oh, my God. Carly Bright got hit so hard she backflipped over. And there we go. Kylie wanted to hook the leg, but Carly kind of rolled to the side so she couldn't, but didn't matter. She still got the dub. She still got that sweet, sweet dub. Right, Kylie gets the victory. Yeah, a couple of Kylie connection. This second one that she hit, that was the first one. The second one where she flips over. Blumming hell. A statement made. Kylie, though, getting a fair bit out of that match. Kendal having a few words with Kylie. They're on a collision course in a few weeks' time. 2 weeks away. Evolve Succession. Kylie, Kendal, Evolve Women's Championship. I don't know who wins. I don't want to know who wins. Okay. What is this? Is that Brooks? Brooks. Oh, yeah. Number 1 contenders match is our main event. Here's Brooks Jensen. I'm 3 seconds from earning a championship opportunity. He's going to be taking on Carver. Meat. All I've ever wanted is an opportunity. I like this video package. Brooks Jensen. I like that video package. Carver, Brooks Jensen. I like that video packet. It's getting me excited for Brooks Jensen, but he's going to have to try and overcome Carver, and that is going to be a hell of a mountain. That is not going to be an easy task. Trini, I hope you're having a great day, says Corey. Trini, if people get offended by anything, that's their problem, not ours, says James. Okay, I got a SmackDown advert right now. Benny said, Days, loving Evolve. I thought people who let go got 90 days, but I'm surprised Andrade went back to AEW. I think it depends, doesn't it? It's not. I don't think it's always 90 days. It depends what's in the contracts. Plus, also, it depends how you ended up leaving as well. I mean, he was upset with WWE, and the 90 days, I mean, the 90 days, you get paid for 90 days, don't you? Like, you get 3 months pay for not doing anything. So, I mean, he's not received that. He won't have received that 3 months for not doing anything. So, yeah. I don't know. He's over in AEW. I wish him all the best. We're just seeing Wrestling Open. We're just seeing Marcus Mathers and Aaron Rourke. I think it's great that a lot of these talents you see in Evolve are out there. I mean, listen, if flipping it's Gall and Adrenaline Drip and Kylie Ray and Zayda Steele, if they were coming to a promotion by me, I'd be really excited. I'd be really excited. Who will be the next to be ID'd? It's Gall! It's Gall! I'm different. I don't want to fall to the side. Here's Dante. You'll bounce back. Yeah, Jamal Hampton's injured, isn't he? So Dante said, how about I get you in the ring and I'll put your ass next to Jamar Hampton in the hospital? So he's basically offended everyone in the locker room. Next Wednesday, we've got an Evolve face-off. Kendal, Kylie. They're going to face off. That'll be good. That'll be a good segment. We've also got a contract sign-in next week. Jackson Drake going to take on the winner of our next match. Here's our next match. Brooks Jensen. My stream was lagging at the worst moment. What, this stream or the Tubi stream? Here's Brooks Jensen. The bell has got to hit something. What the hell is the pose for the women, says Akeem. Andrade fumbled. Andrade, not Tony, not Triple H, not Charlotte. It was Andrade, said Trini. Okay, Brooks Jensen in the ring. I mean, I don't know how much time we're going to have. About 10 minutes, maybe. Okay, here's Keanu Carver. Yeah, I like his hair like this. I like his hair tied up. I'm not a fan when it's like all loose. I think he looks better. He looks cooler. Keanu Carver making his way down to the ring then. Dude, Santa's in the crowd. Brooks Jensen. I think Brooks Jensen is taller than we give him credit. Size-wise, he's got a good height to him. How tall is Brooks Jensen? I want to say 6'3", 6'4". Brooks Jensen. We've got a Wikipedia page. 6'5"? 6'5"? Wow. Okay, number one contenders for the Evolve Championship. Kelly Kincaid is the ring announcer here. That Alabama bam 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 thing someone was just doing in the crowd. I think it's annoying, but someone seems to have connected with it. Keanu Carver getting his entrance. Jacob said, I'm thinking 6'1", 5'11", 6'5". That could be exaggerated, but I think he does have some size to him. Deceptively so, actually. Deceptively so. Succession, 2 weeks. He looks a bit lanky, said Johnny. Well, he's definitely taller than Keanu Carver. Here we go, the two of them locking up. Carver is definitely the thicker of the two. Let's end our poll, shall we? This was the Carly match, which was probably the weakest offering, but it was still fine. You lot said it was good 95. So we had, was it good 64, good 90, great 64, sorry, good 97, good 95. It's been a night of pretty good in-ring action. Brooks trying to take over. Keanu shoulder tackle there as Brooks goes down. Brooks over against the ropes. Keanu coming over, gets knocked back to the center. Don't know why he's going up. Doesn't feel like the right time. Got caught. Got caught by Keanu. Kick coming into the midsection there by Brooks. Uppercut coming in, European. And again. Another big right hand as Keanu goes down. Brooks against the ropes, gets picked up. Slammed down by the big man. Keanu Carver planting Brooks. Picks him up again. Slams him down again. Keanu Carver grabbing Brooks. Was never defeated during his last Evolve Championship opportunity. Big back body drop there by Keanu Carver. Brooks goes over into the corner, comes out. Samoan drop. Yeah, I mean, he's just chucking him around. Considering he's 6'5", it's very impressive. Bryce, have you got this? Okay, so what's Bryce gonna do? Is Bryce gonna get involved, ruin this match, and set up a fatal four-way? Could it be that actually in 2 weeks, both of these go into the title match, but Bryce goes in as well? Surely whatever they've got planned is going to backfire. Surely. Because it doesn't help Jackson, whoever wins this. If it's going to be Brooks Jensen, it's going to be a tough match. Brooks Jensen has been in NXT for a long time. It's going to be a tough match. But if he goes against Keanu Carver, because of his size and his power, that's going to be a tough match. So, I don't know. I don't know what he's hoping for. Is he hoping that neither wins and so that way neither get a match? I remember Daze said earlier he would head to the Performance Center and show him how it's really done, said Jacob. English, hard style. They're lucky that I can't be bothered to leave my house. They are so lucky. Otherwise, I would teach them some lessons they would never forget. Johnny said, for all we know, Daze might be 5 apples tall. 5.5. Jacob said, no cap. That's what I remember. I remember it as well, Jacob. I remember it as well. Knee coming in there by Brooks. Will said, just a heads up, I won't be here for any streams next week because Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Evolve, all members, because I've got elbow surgery on Monday. So what, elbow surgery means you can't join us for the streams? I mean, maybe if you're in surgery on Monday, I can let you off Raw, but you're not still going to be in surgery on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, are you? Will, what am I meant to say to that? Oh, that's okay, Will. Don't worry about the community. Don't worry about us. Yeah? It's understandable that because you had surgery on Monday, you won't be around on Friday. Yeah? Is that what you want me to say, Will? Because that's not how I feel. I'm not a liar, Will. I'm not a liar. The math doesn't math. Surgery on your elbow by Tuesday, you'll probably be back home. It doesn't make any sense. Other streamers would be like, oh, no worries, buds. No worries, bud. You just focus on recovering. No worries, but not me. Not me, not this guy. I'm like, what? How does that make any sense? Why don't you have 2 weeks, Will? Sounds to me like you need 2 weeks. 3 weeks. You can't rush a recovery, Will. You can't rush a recovery. Why don't you just tell us the truth, Will? Why don't you just say that you don't like us, Will? Yeah? Why aren't you just being honest? Okay, we're back from commercial break now. Now we got Brooks working on the arm of Keanu. Oh, I'm all upset. Going over into the corner, no joy. Bang, shoulder first. Brooks caught in the corner. Where is Will? He's gone. He's gone. Ashamed. Big right hand there by Keanu. Oh, big throw. Wes said you can't use the same elbow you had surgery on to continue jerking. Well, I'm not stopping him from jerking. He doesn't have to do that whilst the streams are on. I mean, I'm sure many do. I mean, honestly, I get it. You know what I mean? Cute AF. Oh, Brooks goes over the top, lands on his feet. Working on the arm. Brooks goes up in the corner. Big clothesline. Down goes Keanu. 1, 2. No joy. Big Time said Fraxium haven't won a match since May 16th. They've only wrestled 4 times. Tag team was labeled the best tag team in the world, putting on bangers. Afosi said, I can't believe Idris left WWE. Evolve, him and Blade were somewhere else. They were pretty fun. Yes, I agree. They weren't finding much forward momentum, though. I just don't think the bookers thought that they had... I don't think the bookers could really find... I don't know. Belief in them. I mean, they could have booked them to win matches. They could have booked them to look good. I don't know what the barrier was. Brooks going big. If any of you are wanking over Daze, you need effing therapy, said James, who you know has done it at least once. You know he's done it at least, but I don't want to shame anyone. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. The amount of times over the years that I've done streams and people have been here watching, warm and comfortable in their own homes. Come on. Come on. It seems like the lady doth protest too much. If any of you have done that, you should be ashamed. Says the person that's definitely done that. Honestly, James, I take it as a compliment. I take it as a compliment. My youthful complexion is not going to last forever. Oof. Okay, Keanu Carver might have just put Brooks Jensen away, and he does! Keanu Carver wins! Guys, we was talking about people, and then people became James, touching themselves during streams, and it did distract a little bit from our enjoyment of the main event, but it seemed okay. I still don't think it was as good as the tag match. Yeah, he barged Jensen straight to the outside. What is that move called, though? I like his hair like that. It looks better. Oh, from behind. So what was the plan? Actually, what was the plan? To allow someone to win and then attack them. So right now we've got Bryce Donovan attacking Keanu Carver. I mean, he's going to be fine in 2 weeks, isn't he? How bad? Oh, okay, this is where it could get good. Now he's going to stomp on the arm. Here we go. Bang, that's good. That's good. That could have repercussions. That could have repercussions. That's good. Hitting him a few times with a chair, but actually, like, stomping on the arm and potentially breaking the arm, that's good. Vanity Projects. There's Jackson Drake having a word with Keanu Carver. I mean, the only thing I would say is that Keanu Carver will recover one day. So what are they going to do? What happens here? I mean, is he out for 2 weeks? After what just happened to his arm, I don't see how any human being is going to be in the ring in the future. Vanity Rejects, I think, is the chant. Vanity Rejects. What is going down here? We got Jackson Drake extending the hand to Bryce. Is Bryce going to accept? He does. He does. They're on the same page for now. They're on the same page for now. Shaquem said, I started 3 minutes before Daze and I'm already finished. See, James, you don't have to feel that awkward. It seems like quite a few people are doing it. Shaquem started 3 minutes before I started even watching Evolve. As the show comes to an end. Kian said, Daze, I'm clean. I've never done what James has done. I respect everyone. My attention is just for Jenna Ortega. Well, God only knows what you've done over that girl. I think what you've probably done over that girl warrants you being arrested, to be honest. Taker1990 said, Daze, could you imagine if Obafemi and Keanu Carver formed a tag team? That would be destructive. Afosi said, that is like Rhea Ripley stomping on Liv Morgan, but more aggressive. I mean, I think they'll probably go with him competing in a few weeks, and it'll be like, I can't believe it. Did you see what happened to his arm just the other week? This is incredible, blah, blah, blah. They'll make him out to be a superhuman, you know? But, yeah, I think that that was not a bad episode at all, honestly. That was not a bad episode. I really enjoyed the tag match. I didn't think any of the matches let us down. I really liked the Brooks Jensen video package, but it's a shame that we couldn't capitalize on that with a victory. Instead, we follow it up with a loss, which is a real shame. It wasn't really much backstage, but it was good to see its goal set up a match against Dante Chen, which I'm thinking will be next week. We also know next week we've got face-to-face between the two competitors for the women's title. Don't know. We got a contract signing with Jackson Drake. We don't know what's going to happen with Keanu Carver. I mean, we're obviously doing something with Wendy Choo. The stories in Evolve are not that complex. They're easy little things to just follow, but it's just such an easy watch. It's just so easy to watch. I do think, though, it's also quite easy to step away from, you know? If you went on a run of a few bad weeks, well, I mean, we watch it because we do the streams, but I could understand people being like, yeah, you know, it's not super urgent that I watch this. It's not like an essential show. But if you do watch it, I think it is a very easy show to watch. I had chicken, potato, salad, and regular salad, said Sonny. Ooh. Daze, when it comes to NXT last night, it opened my eyes. The overabundance of ex-WWE wrestlers. So many unwanted toys by WWE. Seeing on NXT is cool, but also a bit awkward. Well, I think it was awkward in this regard, wasn't it? Because the whole TNA team was kind of made up of them. Which, yeah, I mean, there must be people that have been in TNA. I don't know the women's roster in TNA, but there must be women in TNA that have been there for a while that embody TNA. Yeah, I think Rosemary, for example. Rosemary, to me, embodies TNA. So there must be people like that, and there must be others like that, that aren't just ex-WWE. I mean, part of me thinks that, you know, if the TNA fans are okay with it, if they've taken Jakara Jackson to their hearts, the inspiration to their hearts, then fine, okay, you know, that's not a massive problem. But I do think that we should be celebrating TNA. And, you know, like a Rosemary or some of the other girls, it would be good if they were the ones being showcased. Kiani as the leader, I can't even. I can't even. Even I'm like, what? I don't. Akeem said Rosemary has been there like 10 plus years. How is AEW next Tuesday? AEW is going to be on at the same time as NXT, said Shaquem. And we're doing the big showcase next week. Oh my God. What are people going to do? I know what I'm doing. Glock there said Andrade is the first wrestler to go from WWE to AEW to WWE back to AEW. They call him the Yo-Yo. Wrestling Void said, I'm sad that Edward has left, but I'm happy he's pursuing his boxing career. I think it was lovely to hear from him as well because I know that a lot of you speak with Edward anyway, so I know that, you know, word would have got out, but it's situations like this where things can, you know, get kind of blown out of proportion or anything like, oh, Edward's gone, why, what happened? You know, and things like that. So to actually hear from him himself saying how much, you know, he's appreciated being with the community, how much he appreciates you guys. I mean, I didn't tell him to say anything, but I mean, he wanted to shout you guys out. He wanted to raise up the community. This is Edward Brown, who's been with us for 8 years, fairly consistently as well. And, you know, he's been a big focus, a big part of the community. His loss will definitely be felt. But I mean, the great thing about our community is it's constantly evolving. It's constantly welcoming in new people, you know, and hopefully that makes us stronger. I mean, genuinely, I think what we're doing right now is some of the best stuff we've ever done on the channel. The members side has never been as active. And, you know, we obviously have 3 streams a week. We're doing games. We're doing, you know, Q&As. We're doing loads of interesting things. The Discord has never been as strong as it is right now, thanks to Dormouse and Kelly and Sunny Wolf. Like, you know, there's a good vibe that's going on there. There's a good vibe that's going on the members' sides. I think, you know, the streams are where I kind of expect them to be at the moment. I think there has been a little bit of a step down with the amount of people that join us, but that is to be expected at this time of year. And I think that is being reflected in the WWE viewing figures as well. You know, we know that Raw went down to 2.3 from 2.5. That's going to kind of show itself in the amount of people that join our watch-alongs as well. It's just when football starts up, like you do see this time of year, there being a slump. And so that's fine. I mean, things will be relatively quiet now, to be honest. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, there will be moments. John Cena's final match is going to be huge. Survivor Series is going to be interesting, and that will get some people around. But by and large, I think this year is, outside of a few things, pretty much done. There'll be a few more twists and turns, but I mean, we are just looking at a couple of months now. You know, we are just kind of, this is the quietest part of the year. We are, you know, kind of waiting to get round to January. And once we're in January, we're in WrestleMania season. So, I mean, for me, like, WrestleMania season starts before the Rumble. Officially, the Rumble is where it starts. But in the lead up to the Rumble, you've got kind of, you know, pieces being put where they need to be. Who's going to be in the Rumble? Who's going to be fighting for the championship at the Rumble? We're setting the pieces in place for, obviously, the Royal Rumble, and then we're really on the road. So, yeah, a little bit of a quiet period now, but I think where we are as a channel, as a community, is really, really good. Really, really good. James said, Edward is just running away from me. That could be true. CJS said Andrade got booed on his return. It's no wonder they're not bothered about him when he leaves all the time. It's only a good vibe because I ain't there to ruin it all and burn it down. Tony just picked Andrade from the dumps and he said this will work this time. Fire it up and burn it down, says Wes. Taker 1990 said, Daze, the women's team NXT is stacked compared to the women's team NXT. Therefore, I think team NXT will win. I think they should as well, because then at least TNA fans have got the excuse, well, you know, that team didn't really represent us. So I think at least you've got that kind of built-in excuse. So, yeah, I think... And you can easily have Trick not working well with the NXT guys, you know? You can easily have Trick let the side down, walk away. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the NXT women's win, and I think the TNA men win. I can vibe with that. William said, I'm only here because I've just about been banned from everywhere else. James said, I was here in 2019. Oh, really? That is a long time. Carl said, speaking of Cena, what did you think of the prices for his last match? Yeah, I spoke about it on the members stream. I think it's too cheap. Genuinely, I think it's too cheap. I've got a controversial hot take on this that I really do stand by. I think people are looking at it completely the wrong way. I think that the headlines are that the front row is like 11, 12,000, and everyone's like, oh my God, these prices are insane. But my question would be, okay, halve it, make it 6,000, right? Halve it, take 50% off. Is the average person going to be able to afford that? No. The idea that the average person is going to be able to sit in the front row of John Cena's final match, I mean, it's just not going to happen, is it? I mean, I'd imagine the average person can't afford floor seats for the Lakers, you know? I'd imagine the average person ain't going to be able to afford the front row for flipping Taylor Swift or Beyonce or whatever, right? I mean, these are, for every sporting event, UFC, front row tickets, boxing. I mean, did you see who was at the front row for Canelo Crawford? It was Turkey Al-Sheikh. It was Anthony Joshua. You know, it was Jason Statham. I mean, like, the idea that the front row should be accessible to people or that it ever has been is pretty bonkers to me. I just really don't understand the argument. I don't get it. I think people are being a bit disingenuous. Like, you see people talking about front row being 12,000, second row being 8,000, third row being 6,000. But again, halve it, take 50% off. Front row is 6,000, second row is 4,000. The row behind that, you know, is going to be, I don't know, 3,000, whatever. The average person does not have that at their disposal. Are we under the impression that these people that are struggling to put food on the table has just got like thousands of dollars lying around? So to me, I think give up the dream, give up the idea that you would ever be able to afford those tickets. I don't think you can ever truly, listen, I'm happy to hold my hands up and say I am not a wealthy man at all, right? I was earning probably more when I worked in retail than I earn now, right? I'm happy to admit that. Because I think it is a myth for people to think that like all YouTubers are just like, you know, bringing in all this money. It's just not true. I mean, straight away, I know that you might see a lot of donations on the channel, but YouTube take 50% of that. So 50% of all the donations that you see coming on the channel they go to YouTube. And then obviously you got to pay your tax. In the UK, that's 20%. So another 20%, that means 70% of everything you see get donated does not reach me. YouTube take 50%, the government take 20%, 70% does not reach me. So there's only 30% that actually reaches me, right? And to be honest, people's generosity and donations, they are huge because towards contributing to the channel, because you don't make much from ad revenue. If you rely on just adverts, you really do not make much money from that. It's not what people think. People think that it's like you're making loads. It's not true. It's a bit like Spotify. You know, you don't get paid much per play. You have to get a lot of plays to make money on Spotify. And the same is true on YouTube. So for me, like, it's one of those situations where I'm not a wealthy person and I would never think that I could afford even before TKO to sit in the first like 3, 4, 5 rows, right? I would never think that I could do that. So to me, I'd say charge those rich people that can afford it more money, charge them more, make them pay more, right? Doesn't bother me if the front row is 100 grand, charge them 100 grand each, milk them for as much as you can get out of them. If they're rich and they've got money, get as much out of them as you can. And then I'm a big believer that the stands, make them like $50 a ticket and that's it. I mean, I think that if TKO want to make, say, 5 million for the John Cena's final match, the pressure on making that 5 million should come from those people sat on the floor. The people sat on the floor seats, that's where you make your money. But the people in the stands, that should be for the fans. That should be for you and me. I am happy to admit, I ain't going to be able to afford floor seats if I was to buy tickets and go to WWE. But could I just get in the room? Could I just get in the room? Could I feel the atmosphere? I would like to think that I could. I'd like to think that I would be able to afford to go. And, think about a family of 4 that's got a mom, a dad, 2 kids. They're going to need 4 tickets. Or what about if you're a dad with 3 kids? You're going to need 4 tickets. You might have 4 kids, I don't know, but whatever, right? I mean, you families, it's getting so hard for them. I honestly cannot stress that. I do not care how much you charge the front row. I do not care how much you charge the second row. I do not care how much you charge the 3rd row, the 4th row, the 5th row. I couldn't give a flip. I think it's too cheap. I think it's way too cheap. But I do care how much you charge people sat in the seats. I do care about that. Lower those prices. Make it so that everyone can afford a ticket, right? I mean, I don't think for John Cena's final match, $50 to get a ticket for a seat in the stands is bad, right? I don't think that's a disrespectful or a problem or anything like that. I think that's very, very fair. But TKO want to make their money, yeah? TKO want to make their money. That pressure has got to come from the floor seats. So, I mean, look, I have not sat down and mathematically worked it out, right? TKO might listen to that and go, no, that's not going to make us the money we're looking for. That's not going to be good enough, right? They might have dreams of making 10 million and the idea I've just proposed would only make them 5. So to them, it might be like, no, that doesn't work for us. But anything you can do to make it so that people can get in, There are John Cena fans that are going to want to go to that show. But I don't think it's reasonable to think that they're going to be able to afford front row tickets. And you could halve it and it's still expensive. I mean, front row for $6,000 is still expensive. I mean, the idea that you'd get front row for a couple of $100 is just not realistic. It's expensive to sit in the front row. It's expensive if you go to basketball. It's expensive if you go to a concert. My mum and dad went to got second row for some stand-up comedy, and they ended up spending like $500 for a ticket each. They really wanted to go, right? It was my auntie and uncle were going as well, and it was like a big night out. And they really do not ever do that, but they ummed and ahed about it. It was not an easy decision, but it was like a birthday thing as well, and it was a big deal, so they went for it. And they said after, we regret it, really shouldn't have done it. It wasn't really worth doing. Would have been quite happy sitting further back from cheaper. But they did it, and yeah, I mean, even to like a stand-up thing, you're gonna spend like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So that's my take on it. I just want it to be that families can get in and people can get in, but I am understanding that TKO want to make money. I understand this is a business. I understand that they are trying to make money. So there's got to be a compromise. I think people just saying the ticket prices are too high and not offering an alternative solution doesn't help anyone, does it? People can complain online and say that the ticket prices are high, but TKO want to make money. And if the front row are going to spend $11,000 for the front row tickets, then why wouldn't you charge $11,000? I mean, if you charged $11,000, no one bought them, and there was just an empty front row, then we've got a different conversation, haven't we? It's a completely different conversation. But that's not what's happening. People are spending that money. You're charging $11,000 and that front row will sell out. So that says to me, you're not charging them enough. Charge them more. And then if you can find some compassion in your heart to not rinse the fans that are in the stands and actually lower the price for them, I think that's a really fair compromise. I think at least it's a starting point. So I'm a big believer in that. So whenever I see front row being 40,000, 50,000, and I see like all this backlash, I am very much different. I'm very much thinking charge them more. Charge them more. Who the hell is looking at that thinking that they were ever going to afford to be able to go to the front row? I'd love to know how much the front row, I'd have to have a look into that, how much it was 10 years ago. Because I don't know if people are under the impression that the front row was like $25 or something, you know? But the front row has always been thousands. It's always been expensive. I mean, the people that if you've got $4,000, $5,000 to spend on tickets, and, you used to be able to get the second row. Now you got to go to the sixth row. I do not feel any sympathy for you. I'm sorry, but my priorities are somewhere very, very different than the fact that you used to sit there. Now you got to sit a little further back. I don't know, man. But that's my take on it anyway. Is it a hot take? I don't know. Daze, I tagged you in a tweet in Sacramento. There's 5,500 sold so far. Same building did 14,000. It's a big drop. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, if there is, look, they are constantly looking at ticket prices and they are constantly trying to charge as much as they can. I wouldn't be shocked if they drop the number if there's slow sales. That's how you'll change it. That's how you'll change it. That's how people will change it, by not going. I mean, the only option they will have is to drop the prices then, But I don't think that for John Cena's last match, that the front row and the second row and the third row, I don't think they're not going to sell. Because there are a lot of wealthy people in the world. There are a lot of executives, CEOs, sports people, lawyers. There's a lot of doctors and really, well-paid professions. I mean, there are people out there making money. It's just not some of us. So, if their kids want to go, or their fans themselves, there are people out there that can afford this and not even think twice. 11 grand to some CEO that's earning 100 million a year. 11 grand is like flipping nothing. That's like spending $5 on a flipping Happy Meal to them. It's absolutely nothing. They do not care about people that don't make a lot of money, said Shakeen. Well, I mean, they're always going to want to make as much money as possible, aren't they? But again, for those people that don't make much money, I don't think it's realistic to expect that you're going to get those first few rows. I'm not even sure it's realistic to expect you can find a floor seat in 2025. Honestly, I would have a look at how much the prices are at the time of going. But I think my expectation is that I would ideally like to get in the stands, as low down as possible. That's kind of what I would be looking for realistically. If I can afford the end of the floor seats, then I might look at that. But for me, rinse the floor seats. Absolutely cane them for as much money as you can, and then commit to making the stands as cheap as possible. Commit to those tickets being $50, which I think is a reasonable price. But again, me sitting here saying that, I don't have any numbers to back that up. I can't sit here and go, well, I've applied this to the show for John's, and if we did that, this is how much they would make. The bottom line is, if they're making $5 million from John Cena's last match, doing what they're doing, is there a way that you can make $5 million, right, but make the cheaper seats cheaper? Is there a way of making the cheaper seats cheaper and still make the same amount of money? That to me is a very constructive, very interesting conversation. That is a solution to the problem, right? Might not be a solution everyone loves, but it is a solution to the problem. I mean, the alternative is that TKO just charge half the price for all the tickets, make half the amount of money. why would they do that? They want to make as much as they possibly can. We know, you know that, I know that, we all flipping know that. Complaining but still paying does nothing. People who don't like something need to stop supporting it until it changes. It's that simple, says Trini. It's crazy that Sean is putting on a better show than Triple H, said Shaquem. Daze, this has been a recent pattern if you look at the data. A lot of the markets WWE going back to are seeing some big drops. People who paid for high ticket prices. Second time, it's good luck for that. People that paid, that go back, well, you know, that's for them to work out, isn't it? I mean, if people are showing that they will pay it as a one-off, they will go and they will spend that amount of money, but they don't want to do it again the next year, and they don't want to have to do it as a yearly thing. It's like a special one-off treat. TKO are going to have to drop the prices, aren't they? They'll have to drop the prices then. It is crazy. Oh, we read that one. We are complaining. We should take this X. We should take this X. I don't know what that means, but... right, I think we're done. There we go. That was Evolve. It was a pretty fun show, actually. Didn't mind it at all. Main events came out as goods. Let's have a little look what you scored it. You lot said it was good 97. So, good 97. Another match that delivered and I think gave us a pretty solid episode, all things considered. So, there we go. Oh, we're complaining, but we should take it to Twitter. Right. Oh, I think there's plenty of people on Twitter that are complaining about it. I agree with Trini. You know, the prices will stay high whilst people buy the tickets. I think hoping that TKO would bring in a solution like I suggested, it's probably not going to happen, because they'll look at that and go, well, that's fine, but we could still make money from those people in the stands. We could still charge them 200 instead of 50. And it's like, yeah, but that's not the point, is it? That's not quite the point. Like, we're trying to make it affordable for people, but yeah, I mean, look, breaking news, TKO are motivated by money. That's, you know, we know that. Okay, right, we're done. We're out of here. Appreciate people joining us. I know that this is very, very specialist, but that's why you're the diehard of the diehard. We are back tomorrow with our member stream. We are back tomorrow with the Wrestling Escape Pods. We are back tomorrow with an Unseen. And then, of course, on Friday, we got SmackDown. On Saturday, we got UFC. Lots coming up once again. So thanks for joining us. Appreciate it as always. And I will see you again next time.